Catholic school students all heard that sound this morning, the first bell of a brand new year. But the bell at one Queens Academy holds a lot more meaning for their students. Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti. It's been calling the students of St. Michael's Catholic Academy back to class for more than half a century. The Flushing School's old-fashioned bell is as much a part of their new school year routine as meeting their teachers or finding out their schedules. Currents News' Katie Vasquez tells us more about this integral part of history for one of the oldest Catholic schools in the Diocese of Brooklyn.
This bell echoes down 41st Street in Flushing.
Happy first day of school!
A reminder for students at St. Michael's Catholic Academy that a new school year has begun.
Very proud of ringing the bell. This symbolizes the start of a new start for the year, fresh start.
Its chimes have been ringing for decades. St. Michael's is one of the oldest Catholic schools in the Diocese of Brooklyn, founded in 1851. But about 100 years into its history, this bell became part of everyday life.
When the bell first started, it was used more of like an orchestral music went around with it. Nowadays, we play rock and roll. But the one thing that has always remained the same is the love in St. Michael's.
The world around the school changed, and so has the neighborhood. Flushing is now predominantly Asian, and the school boasts the only English-Mandarin dual-language program in the Diocese of Brooklyn. Yet this steady toll has continued for some 60 years. Regardless of what language they learn, the sounds are deeply woven into the memory of every student who has passed through these halls. Alumnus Walter Avalon says the chimes immediately transport him back to when he was a student in the mid-1960s.
When that bell rang, everyone stopped what they were doing and froze until they got direction.
Now, all these years later, the same call to action, but it's more than just a sound.
The bell itself, it's a bell. It rings and it does what it needs to do. But what's tied to the bell, the memory and the love of St. Michael's, that's what resonates with everyone.
One the school hopes to keep ringing into the next century. In Flushing, Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
Some 30,000 students in the Diocese of Brooklyn were greeted by their new teachers this morning, and for a select few, they also got a special welcome.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Bishop Robert Brennan was at St. Athanasius Catholic Academy in Bensonhurst, welcoming students back and meeting with parents. At 8 a.m., the bishop kicked off the school year by leading them in prayer, blessing the students so they can grow in faith and in friendship. We're joined by the Vicar for Schools in the Diocese of Brooklyn, Monsignor David Cassato, to talk about this exciting new school year. Thanks so much for being here, Monsignor.
It's wonderful to be back here, Christine.
Always nice to have you. So tell me, what's the focus for Diocese of Brooklyn schools this year? You know, what are you hoping to accomplish?
I mean, there's a lot of things going on, and I got to say, we're very proud of our schools. And all you have to do is just look around and see. I was with my grandniece and my grandnephew. They go to St. Francis de Sales School. They're so eager to go to school. I was at other kids I met this summer. They go to St. Joseph's, the worker school. They're so eager to school. And it's amazing. What we really want to do is just continue to excel, to bring the grades up, to bring the scores up, to show that we are very competitive and probably outshining a lot of the public system.
The Catholic schools did do that this past year. So as you know, there are thousands of migrants in New York City right now, and a lot of them are school-age children that may be looking to have a Catholic school education. So if a migrant child wants a Catholic school education, how easy is it for them? Can we accommodate them?
Well, I think first of all, we can accommodate them. Secondly, most of our schools have really bilingual work because most of our faculties have an ability in Spanish, which most of the migrants are, and we can try to work with each of them trying to get them into school. I think it's critical for the schools that are near locations where migrants are housing right now, and to try to get them into the school little by little. And vaccination is a very big issue with them, and trying to get help financially.
Now, you talked about vaccination. So COVID is still a factor. I'm sure you heard about the First Lady coming down with it. During the pandemic, diocesan schools handled it so well. Are you worried at all? Are you ready?
We don't have to worry.
Okay.
And we don't have to really worry about masking and all those issues.
Right.
It's really for the population that's really endangered. You know, the people of certain ages and
Right.
all. The kids will be fine. And realize, we opened during the pandemic when all the other schools were closed. If we can do it then, I'm sure there's not a problem right now.
Catholic schools know what they're doing. Monsignor David Cassato, Vicar for Schools in the Diocese of Brooklyn, thanks so much for being here.
And thank you.
If you're interested in sending your children to Catholic school, just visit catholicschoolsbq.org or call 718-965-7380 for more information. Before we go, some prayers tonight for a beloved Brooklyn priest who has passed away. Monsignor Paul Jervis returned to the Lord on Tuesday after a long battle with cancer. He was 69 years old. The Guyanese-born priest was a pillar for the Black Catholic community in the Diocese of Brooklyn. He spearheaded the cause of canonization for Monsignor Bernard Quinn, who worked for racial justice. Part of that work was founding St. Martin de Porres Parish, the first documented African-American parish in the Diocese of Brooklyn. Monsignor Jarvis also served as pastor there. Just a few months ago, Monsignor Jarvis was honored by the Brooklyn Vicariate Office of Black Catholic Concerns, where Bishop Brennan said he was inspired by his courage, his patience, and his love of God. Funeral arrangements have yet to be announced. And that is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. We leave you tonight with another look at the first day of school. We hope all the students have a great year and we can't wait to tell their stories.